You wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a baby. You wouldn't shoot a policeman and then steal his helmet. You wouldn't go to the toilet in his helmet and then send it to the policeman's grieving widow and then steal it again. Downloading films is stealing. If you do it, you will face the consequences.
Man, these anti-piracy ads are getting really mean.
Hey, Indigo made the beat.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Heroes Peak Podcast. You got the whole crew here together again for once. So, go around the horn, introduce everybody again in case we got new listeners, new watchers who have not met the whole crew. So first, coming in all the way from LA, Brooksy. How you doing, Brooksy? Long time no see. Except for when I'm going to beat you at fantasy basketball.
Oh my God.
First of all, we can talk about that. I will introduce myself again. Thank you, Chris. I am the queen of the podcast. I am also unmotherfucking defeated on fantasy basketball. Unmotherfucking defeated in fantasy basketball. In case anyone had any question about who is number one in fantasy basketball, it is
right now
the queen of the podcast.
Even with Curry out, I don't even know how you're doing it with Curry out. I'm blown away.
Yo, she's having the luck of the Irish.
All right. Not to get too far into fantasy basketball, but everybody should also know our commissioner of the league, Keith. How you doing, Keith? Also not winning this league.
Don't worry, though. It's not over. It's not over. All I need to do is make it into the playoffs. I'm good. I'm going to make it into the playoffs.
All right, Eli Manning.
Playoffs?
Just get me there, boys. Just get me there.
Let's get there. All right. Also in our league.
Dude, you're
also
right.
Not
yeah,
winning.
You're right above me at 8.
It's James. How you doing, James? As I'm really kicking your ass this week.
Yo, we had full tank.
For what?
We are
there is no.
We are going for the French guy
draft.
next year. The Frenchman.
What are you tanking for?
Yo. Dude, every year, why do I get these terrible draft round numbers, man? Terrible. Can you, Commissioner, I plead, yes. and my highest draft has been 8th. This year it was 12th. I'm asking you, Commissioner, can you allow next season the worst record that's not a bot?
You know what? You're right.
At least a higher probability of getting the first top 3
No,
picks.
it was mad shady.
Come on, the Knicks did it back in 84.
What? You're right, though. You're right. What we're gonna do? The bottom three. They're gonna be in a lottery.
Let's bring this back around to our Tony Stark of the pod. Has nothing to do with fantasy basketball. It's Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Good. You guys are. I wasn't really paying attention, so something about basketball and rolling dice or whatever you nerds do in your spare time. So
rolling dice.
Is it role playing basketball? What is it? I don't know. I don't understand how it works.
Rolling dice.
They don't have basketball in Canada, really. I get that.
Yeah, it was only
we talked about this on chat, that there definitely needs to be a kung fu hustle
invented by
version
Canadian
basketball, or a Shaolin soccer version movie with basketball. We need to see that soon. I think
someone's going to take the idea.
Please do.
I know.
Isn't that what
LeBron
Space
wanna be
Jam 2 was?
entertained.
Company, whatever
Wasn't
it's
that?
called.
Isn't that what Space Jam 2 was though?
Oh my God, Space Jam 2. Oh my
Which
God,
was
no.
which was did that came out this year, didn't it, or was it last year? I don't
No, that was last year.
I don't even remember. I gotta
Last-
look that up.
It's not even on my
Wait, did it
list.
come out this year? Because I haven't got.
I would hope
another
it's
one
I
not
of
do
on
those.
not
your
have
list.
that written down. If that came
Jesus.
out this year,
The worst movie. Remember, this is the
That
one.
movie
worst
is
movie.
awful.
No,
Why would
just
that
on
be
my
on
watch
anybody's
list.
list? Yeah, last year, Space Jam.
Alright, let's
all
go.
right, just so everybody knows. Okay, well, Mike's looking this up. We are doing our end of the year movie top 5 list, and we're going to go around the horn. We're just going to go up the list, and everybody's going to get a chance to say what they watched and why they liked it. And if people agree, people agree. If we disagree, we're going to yell at you and tell you you're wrong. By the way, James. All right.
Ouch. We're gonna do the
Yeah.
snake draft.
We're gonna go around and go around the
They
other
do the
way
snake,
and
right?
back around, back around. So I'll start with you,
Round.
James. I'll let you go first. Number 5 for 2022's movie top 5.
My number 5 with axe and a mountain lion or a tiger, whatever that Bengal was. Triple R. Netflix's first Bollywood global release. Triple R. It probably was our second most viewed podcast on Heroes Peak. Our review, very hotly contested by some folks on the
Fucking
they were
racist. That's
focused
why.
on Mike's take. Apologize for taking a beating by the trolls. That's neither here or there for me to comment on that. But I actually really enjoyed this movie. Keep it short and succinct. The movie was not what I expected for something that's 3 hours and a Bollywood dance. And you guys know I hate dance. Anything having to do with dance or routines in a movie or a show. Not a fan for it, unless it's Hamilton, which was really good in that one. And this one, yeah, man, I'm not gonna say anything
Well,
more than
that
that. But this is
dance
my
was
number 5.
actually very character driven. I'll give you that. All right, Brooks, your number 5 for the year.
Almost
right.
all of them were. But
My number 5 for the year is Prey. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it was like unexpected for me how much I enjoyed it, and that's why I'm putting it on my list. The other thing that I really liked about it is that I don't know if it was the director or whoever, they used actual like indigenous people. They cast indigenous people in the movie to represent. And I just feel like that's something that Hollywood gets wrong all the time. You know, Cleopatra being white and things
You hear
like
that, James Cameron? Yeah.
What, you guys
so
didn't
that's
like
another,
Jake
you know, I just wanted
Gyllenhaal as the Prince of Persia?
shots fired.
Come on.
That's
That
so
was great.
dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb. And you know, it's all about like
It's a
women
great pick,
empowerment
Brooks.
as well. So thank you.
Yeah, good movie. Good movie.
And killing giant aliens, giant aliens killing bears.
Right.
I mean, how much
Gotta
better
love
can you
that.
get?
See,
All right,
if it was
Keith.
Cocaine Bear,
Number 5.
now there's a match I want to see. Cocaine Bear versus Predator.
That's
No,
can't wait for
we're
that movie. You guys kid. Next year,
definitely
we'll talk
watching
about how
that
this is the
one.
number one
Definitely
movie.
watching that one.
Um,
Keith, do you have a number 5 for us?
I guess I watched less movies this year than I did previously, but like I definitely swung into like kind of like that Bollywood into like a Bollywood kind of zone. And I'm gonna go with we haven't reviewed it yet. I think we're going to review it top of the year. But Bahamatra. I just like even though I mean it was dubbed, like it was like it was a compelling storyline. I the only thing I would say is like although there was some special effects CGI kind of thing, it didn't go, I felt like, as far as it could to really kind of like to dramatize some of the fights and the things, the beasts that they were dramatizing. But like, I enjoyed it as a kind of like a sci-fi, a fantasy, sci-fi, Bollywood production, and it was compelling. I really enjoyed it, and I'd recommend it a lot.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was
Now, Keith, we were talking. Oh, sorry.
yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna say I saw it too. It was really good. I actually liked it better than RRR. So when you guys check it out, and honestly, I think that movie Brahmastra will put a lot of the recent DC movies to shame, man.
To shame,
Yeah.
to shame. It's dubbed like to
Well,
shame.
Black Adam should be shamed. Black
Yeah,
Adam
man.
should be shamed.
I literally just recently saw.
And Keith,
I said
Hey,
that.
Keith, real quick, you saying it's better than RRR?
It's better than
I know you
RRR,
said that, but you
but
agree?
I like RRR better for what like. I just like the fight scenes. Like RRR to me was like some Bollywood. What's his name? Keanu Reeves.
all right, Mike, you're number 5.
So my number 5, I'm gonna go with the Batman. There's a lot of tough choices this year, but I think out of all the comic book movies we had, I think Matt Reeves' The Batman was probably the best one this year. Definitely not Thor 4. Multiverse of Madness could have been up there. It was decent, but a little bit disappointing. I think like I said, out of all of them, I think the Batman was at the top. So that's on my list this year.
All right. Now I have an issue with picking a number 5. 1 through 4 is easy. It's bam, 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 bam. Number 5 feels like a giant Royal Rumble to me. Like every time I go to pick one, then there's another one that comes down the stage and runs in like the Ultimate Warrior and throws another one out, and somebody else comes in, and
Nice.
so
Nice analogy.
like Werewolf by
Is that the
exactly.
Batman song
Like
that I
all of a
hear
sudden,
running
Werewolf
through the
by
room?
Night shows up, and we're like, "Oh shit, that's really good. That's fun." But I think I'm going to agree with Mike, and above RRR, above
That is the music.
Doctor Strange, above Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, I'm going with the Batman for my number 5.
Oh, I didn't count that.
I mean, it's a movie. It came out this
Solid.
year, and it was like it hit just like it. But yeah, no, I think the Batman.
Yeah.
It wasn't the
I still
best
watch it
Batman
from.
we've ever seen, but it was really good, consistent throughout. Had some
No.
great detective Batman. It had some good, solid action. Good.
Yeah, Keith, you got to put that on your list before the year's over.
Batman.
Try to squeeze that in.
The patent.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, Matt Reeves
probably,
had
what, 2
big
hours, 20
shoes to
minutes,
fill
right? 2 hours, 20
making
minutes,
a
10
Batman
minutes.
movie, right? So I think he did a decent job.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And
Yeah. He also
Right.
had the terrible stink and stigma of recent DC Batman.
And he did-
So he's like, oh shit, I gotta
what he
cut
did
away from
better
that
than
flick.
other Batman
So it
movies
was-
is he created tension that wasn't like it wasn't just an action movie tension, it was kind of dramatic tension. Like even the way he introduced the Batmobile created tension.
Psycho thriller.
And it was the way the Riddler was this serial killer deep in the city was tension. Like it wasn't just a
Yeah, it was like watching
So,
one of those psycho
yeah,
thrillers.
I agree, Mike. We're going with number 5
All
as,
right.
as the
The
Batman.
Batman as a detective.
Now it didn't
Gordon.
have the best. It didn't have the best Gordon. It didn't have the best. A bunch of stuff, but I'm going with that. All right, number 4. We're gonna snake back the other way, which is back to me. And this was a surprise on my list. At first, I wasn't even gonna put it there, but the more I thought about it, it's my 4th favorite movie of the year, and it's The Unbearable Weight of Natural Talent.
Massive.
and that's
Massive,
Massive
talent.
Talent.
Yeah.
Sorry, my list doesn't there to have it all out. But this is the Nick Cage movie that came out, and I was shocked. I thought it was going to be goofy. I watched Weird with Weird Al, and I was like, okay, we'll watch this other one. And man, it was really good, and the acting was fantastic. Normally, when you do a goofy, this is a actor playing himself, it doesn't come off really great to me in a lot of cases. Like JCVD, if you guys remember that one, the Jean-Claude Van Damme one.
Yeah.
But no, this was a great movie. Had a fun plot that worked out with Nick Cage playing himself.
At Brooks's face, Jean-Claude Van Damme. She was
Hey,
like,
classic Van Damme, great. Anything past like 2000, no. All right, Mike, number 4.
All right, so number 4 on my list is probably going to be a shocker to all of you.
Like,
I think I'm probably the only one here who saw it. I'm going to go with Kevin Smith's Clerks 3. So, if any of you are familiar with the old Clerks, yeah, did you ever see Clerks, the original black and white, his first movie?
Yes.
So he finally.
Is this one?
Huh? What's that?
Is this one funny?
Oh,
this one is funny.
This was funny and heartwarming. Great writing. He tied up the story nicely with the two guys. They were basically all grown up, trying to figure out how to navigate life. And the thing is, like, when the first one came out, I was around that age, and I'm at that age now where they are in the movie. So it's very relatable, right? So definitely a good job by Kevin Smith.
Why didn't I hear anything about that?
Yeah,
I feel like I didn't
much
think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Clerks
I think
has such a
his
cult
key-
following that I can't
What?
believe I didn't hear anything about that.
Right.
Cartoon. Like, how didn't we hear about this? Like, yo, that's wild.
He was getting a lot of flack. He was getting a lot of flack this year over his He-Man stuff.
Yeah.
I think that may have overshot the Clerks thing. I don't know.
Yeah. No, they didn't. It didn't play in a lot of theaters either. So
they didn't market it well. They didn't.
Well, salute to Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salute.
Blame Marvel. Everybody's got to blame Marvel for not
That's
getting
right.
in the theaters, right? All right, Keith, number 4.
I'm gonna go with Prey. I'm gonna go with Prey for number 4. I did everything that Brooks had said, and I'd add like I thought that their plot direction was very interesting what they took, and although there was definitely holes in the movie, it wasn't like an Oscar award winning movie, but like I like the elements that made the movie what it was. I totally dig it.
Yeah.
All right. Great pick. Brooks, 4.
All right. I feel like we're all flip-flopping here. My 4 is The Batman. So, I mean, not flip-flopping, just switching positions. Yeah, my 4 is The Batman. We're trading. There we go. Not flip-flopping. Thank you. I feel like I'm trying to remember when we reviewed this, what I gave it. Because I feel like I just didn't love the chemistry necessarily between Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. I feel like it was them that I didn't love the chemistry between, right? But I loved all of the like bad guys. Like Colin Farrell in this movie just like blew me away. So I think it's the bad guys in this one that like brings it up to my top 4.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you gave it like a B or something.
Mm.
I remember correctly.
Yeah.
All right, James.
Well, check your astrology signs, what position Mercury is in, because I have to agree with the Queen and say the Batman was my 4th best. Yeah. What the only thing that she didn't touch upon, which I think was the fact that a lot of us didn't think this was going to be a good movie to begin with because of the whole DC stink. Yeah, it's not connected in the universe, but a lot of DC stuff is just trash. including stuff that came out after the Batman. So I came in a little pessimistic or a little, sardonic, whatever, and I watched the movie and I was impressed with the plot, the story, the villains that Brooks mentioned. Like her, also, I didn't agree with the chemistry. I don't think Zoe Kravitz was that good of a Catwoman, my personal opinion. But she was a good actress in a movie. To me, the score also made the movie. As I'm getting older and turning into Chris as being a cinephile, looking at the photography angles and the music certain scenes. I actually downloaded that soundtrack and I played pre-gym, post-gym. Certain scenes are very beautiful. Michael Giacchino, I'm turning to you, Chris, massacring his last name. Giancarlo, who was on the Lost TV show, gave us the soundtrack and scored the Lost, did this entire thing and directed it. So, not directed it, but he was a co-director for music development. It's definitely my number 4. And Keith, you got to see it.
So,
spend some time
what I
here
found
before
with
New
the
Year's
Batman is,
watching it with Eric and I.
for the most part, it's a really good movie. But the things that worked very well, like the Penguin. Colin Farrell's portrayal was excellent. Certain things that they did in this movie, they did really well, and that kind of elevated the film for me. So.
I agree. That's a good way of putting it, Mike.
Even the lows weren't terrible, but they were kind of more mid. Like you said, some of the alternative Catwoman, daughter of what's his name plot was like, unnecessary.
I really wish Hollywood would stop, because not everybody has to be related to everybody else.
You could say this was the best DC movie.
Star Wars. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, that's not going anywhere.
How many different versions of Batman are they giving? Like,
I knew you'd say that.
Honestly,
this is the tough part because
why I didn't watch it, because I was totally uninspired to enough already. This is the problem. This is the actual problem with DC. You're not investing in people getting to know other characters. Come on, bro. You've given me Batman and Superman a billion different ways.
And they're gonna keep doing it. You're gonna get another Superman.
It's almost
and this time you're gonna get Batman simultaneously with another Batman.
Oh yeah. So Keith, the latest news is they
cleaned the
entirely.
Batman is still.
It's already fresh for them.
Except the Joker is still gonna be the Joker.
Look, just bring me Kite Man already, and
all right.
New Superman, they're gonna give us a whole Batman. That's what they're gonna do. That's gonna start the fresh. That's the fresh restart.
We need Condiment King.
Invest the time to getting people familiar with the other characters, and you'll have a whole world to play with. Dummies.
All right, let's finish number 4, and then we got to take a quick break.
Brooks goes to number 3.
Wait.
Actually, wait. No,
okay.
It's James. Was that your?
Oh,
the other way.
I go back. 3. Yeah, sorry. That was my number 4. So I'll be really quick. Yeah, my number 3 is Wakanda Forever. I'm not gonna explain why. It's number 3. Let's go, Brooks. Yes, please go watch it. Leave comments.
Are we to me at number 3?
All right, Brooks.
All right, my number 3 is Bullet Train, because Brad Pitt.
Bullet Train.
I didn't finish it.
Brad Pitt was awesome in that movie.
He was so great in it.
Surprised.
That's his wheelhouse, though. That's really the type of character that he plays so well. And I could see him play that character 1,000 more times. And
Keith, number 3.
I think it's Keith. Keith goes after Brooks.
Doctor Strange.
No, it wasn't.
Keith only watched 2 movies this year.
So yeah.
By default,
I think we got to.
Doctor Strange falls into the.
We're having some internet connection troubles.
Wait. Oh, I can't see the Queen. Oh, you can't see me? I can see me.
He said by default. I can see you. Yeah, you're just glitching a bit. By
So
default,
yeah, it's
by
Doctor
default
Strange for
location
me.
of the
And
other two.
Okay.
Look, I enjoyed Doctor Strange. I know everybody's giving Phase
That's a
4 a
shocker.
lot
I
of
did.
shit.
Put that above
I
I
loved
liked it.
Shang-Chi.
my experience in the theater with Doctor Strange.
I enjoyed Doctor
I,
Strange too. Out of all the Marvel movies this year, that was probably my favorite for sure. Thor 4 was just mid for me. Like, yeah.
I like Doctor Strange. I wish I
No
saw it
way.
in the movie
No
theater,
way.
and I
Doctor Strange
liked
is
it for
not
No,
the
the
you're
best
right.
fact that
comic
No.
like
ever. I'm sorry.
Mm,
I liked it for the fact that it
Hmm.
was like, oh, like this is Marvel's Horror Lane. Like it was a movie that made me kind of open my eyes to the
mm,
Hmm.
fact that like, oh, Marvel has so much actual
Yes.
content that they could literally go off into different movie genres with their actual comic characters, and it really opened my mind to something. So like, I really like Doctor Strange for, and I hope that I'm correct in thinking that that's what they're thinking. But like, Doctor Strange was the movie that made me even look at Thor the way I looked at Thor. Like, oh, like I see lanes developing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the next phase, because it's all team ups, I don't know if we're gonna get a lot of separate lanes at the next phase. I think this was like the experimental phase between
It feels,
Loki and Wanda and Doctor Strange, and they had a lot of different directions. But I think with when you're getting into Marvels and the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and all of that, I don't think you're gonna.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
but Chris, they're
they
still
got, and to me,
developing
like
Phase 6. They're still developing Phase 6.
to
We
me,
don't
this
know
is still
much about
early
Phase
in
6.
the
Phase
whole
5 is kind of
run.
concrete. Yeah.
If you really want to think about it, like
Mhm.
this is the going forward, looking at like what the
Yeah.
possibilities could be.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, and when I say going off into lanes, it doesn't have to be
Mhm.
singular characters. Like I'm talking, like Guardians of the Galaxy is a lane. Like that's, that group, that feeling, whatever kind
Yeah,
of
that's definitely
movies
their own thing.
that, like that group is a comic, lovable, blah blah blah. I don't, I'm not looking at that content the same that I'd be looking at like an X-Men movie content.
All right, Mike, number three.
Number 3. Number 3 for me is going to be the Jordan Peele movie Nope, which was a fantastic
Nope.
little horror flick, kind of horror comedy with Daniel Kaluuya. Right? I keep wanting to say Kahlua the drink when I say his name, so
Jiggy,
that's an issue.
Don't ask me. Like I can't tell you.
But yeah, that
Kahlua
movie
drink.
was filmed beautifully for one.
Kiki
It had
Palmer.
great funny moments and some creepy moments in it. An interesting take on alien, not invasion, but an alien on Earth type of movie. So, number 3 for me this year.
Mm. You know, what I think real quick, Mike, is the more I rewatched that movie after the when I was in the movie theater with Serena, she was gassing me up, and I was like, yeah. When I rewatched it alone several more times,
Hmm.
I realized I was more in love with the cinematography of that
Yeah.
movie, how those nighttime shots were, the daytime shots were, but the
Well,
story
I mean,
and
it's not the most.
plot is so
Yeah,
mid. I was just like, wow.
but it's
The
not the most original
rewatchability
story,
just kept dropping and
but
dropping.
I think it's
Just for
done
me.
very,
Everyone got their
very
own
well.
different
It's
thing.
entertaining for sure. You know what I mean? Hmm.
I don't know who his DP
Oh
was, the
yeah,
director of photography, but that guy did a awesome.
yeah,
And I hope to see that he gets nominated too for an Oscar, because that was a great looking movie,
yeah.
both the nighttime and in the daylight.
All right, my number 3 movie has already been talked about quite a lot here, and that's Prey. Prey was fantastic. It was a surprise. Amber Mid Thunder kicking butt. For some, I didn't write down the guy who played her brother. He was amazing, and just simplifying what things like Terminator and The Matrix and all these fourth or fifth installments that have been coming out, and just over making these plots over complex, and it just took the plot and said, let's just make a simple, monster survival plot, and it worked great. And by removing all the modernity out of the possibilities, the guns and all that stuff, you really made something.
Titular.
And it was in a way tied back
Brooks and Mike got it.
into the original plot line of Predator, because like they made a very big deal of saying that he was here, like they were here before, like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
right,
you could paste any storyline on top of that, but like I like that they, like, oh, like he definitely came during less civilized time, and they, to me, kept it very true to form to what it might have looked like.
So the next one should be
getting to the.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say the next one.
It gets to the heart of the story. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see
lag.
A kung fu protagonist in the next one, though.
Oh, Donnie Yen versus a predator.
Oh,
Come on, give it to me.
The wilderness of
no, I'm
the
tired of
wilderness
Donnie
of
Yen
China
getting misused.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Although you know that movie.
Listen to me. Ip Man versus.
When I give it.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
I'd watch.
Let Donnie Yen relax.
So they did try something like that called The
Indonesia
Great Wall with
the
Matt
way
Damon.
too
I don't know
guys.
if any of you saw that.
Those guys.
Trash.
Yes. Super trash. Super trash.
I never finished
I mean,
it.
the white guy had to come in and save all the Chinese people, right, from the monsters. So it's accurate, 100%.
Wait, did you watch Avatar?
Yeah, I saw that first one.
The last one.
Yeah.
The Last Samurai.
Yo, I told Eric tomorrow after school we can see Avatar 2.
What?
I got free tickets. Eric goes, no
Avatar
thanks, Dad.
is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
He said, I'd rather do homework.
Avatar, you like.
He said, I'd rather do homework.
Like a music video, like you put great music over it. Avatar is beautiful, but just don't think about it. Don't think about it at all.
So Avatar,
right.
I could just throw it up on my computer as a screensaver, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, especially if you like whales.
All right then,
pacifist whales. They're the bomb. All right, back to me because we're going back the other way.
No, we got to take a break first, Chris.
My number two.
We got to take a break, and then we'll come back and do number 2 and number 1.
My number 2 is.
Chris.
You'll find out after this.
Well, yeah.
No.
Let him finish number 2, and then we break.
That was So now we're doing number.
Yeah,
we're gonna when we come back, we'll do number 2 and number 1.
Yeah,
and are we doing worst movie?
We can if somebody wants to toss out their least favorite movie.
Oh, I got a lot of terrible movies this year. So. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of terrible movies. I have a
rant.
least favorite.
I got to rant.
All
We'll
right,
just skip
when we
the
come
honorable
back.
mentions and just do a worst movie.
Welcome back, everybody, and here we are to do our top two movies of the year, 2022, and I get to start. My number 2 movie this year was also a surprise, came out of nowhere, Studio A24, which has been popping off lately, and that is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Now, this thing's been getting a ton of awards, and deservedly so. It was extremely personal, emotional, well-made, crafted, beautiful, funny. Hit all the right notes. Only one thing was able to beat it out this year in my book. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Same here.
I know you and I flip-flopped on 1 and 2.
All right,
knew it.
Mike,
Go ahead.
what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is Maverick. The sequel to
Oh, he's
Top
going
Gun.
with Maverick for number 2.
Yes. So, fantastic movie, fantastic sequel, the one everyone was waiting for. Tom Cruise knocked it out of the park. Gave us pretty much everything we were looking for in a Top Gun sequel. So kudos to all of them who made this movie and Tom Cruise. So, number 2.
Absolutely. All right, Keith, number 2.
Same as you, actually.
Solid.
Everything,
Everywhere.
everything, everywhere, all at once. That it was like I wasn't expecting it to be what it turned out to be. I kind of watched it before I heard all of the hype or this, that, and the other, and like it really kind of blew my mind a little bit. And it's weird because it made me feel like I'm trying, like figuring out the movie and like putting all of the like emotional parts together. I get, for lack of a better word, it made me feel like the emo phase we had in high school when we were listening to alternative music and like Counting Crows was so deep and like those nonsense songs. We're finding so much.
My favorite color is gray, baby.
It was so deep and we're finding so much meaning. It was like. It was like that in movie form.
What part of our brain?
And I appreciated it for some reason. But like, yeah, I think it was a very impactful movie, and I'd like to see more in that creative vein.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, Brooks, what's your number 2?
All right, my number 2. I don't know if you can tell what I'm wearing. Can you see what I'm wearing?
Uh-oh.
No?
Uh-oh. Spider-Man, right?
No, it's Wakanda Forever.
Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man joint.
Oh my God!
I know that you're messing with me, but I'm just like impressed with myself that I have, some Marvel merch over here.
Absolutely.
Because it's the only one I have.
That's the only one I've ever seen you rock.
I got it at.
Ever.
I remember her suddenly rocking DC.
She's now fully geek.
That's right. I remember her getting the DC gear after the Snyder stuff.
Yeah.
Now Marvel gear. Uh-oh.
I know.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's my emo
That was
phase,
her.
right?
That was her emo phase.
Yes.
That was her emo phase.
So my number
Snyderverse
2
for-
is Wakanda Forever.
She was trying to find meaning in a Snyder Cut.
For all the reasons you said, I thought the visual effects were amazing. The story was amazing. I really loved the way they honored Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman. I thought they did that so perfectly. And they could have really fucked it up and didn't. It was like just as well done as it possibly could have been. And so I loved that movie. I loved everything about that movie. Just the visuals in Black Panther and Wakanda Forever to me are just so impressive. And yeah, that's my number 2 movie.
All right, over to you, James. What is your number 2?
So my number 2 is
Ooh-wee.
Top Gun Maverick.
So surprised you guys are going with this in number 2.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Top Gun. Mm-hmm.
That...
I mean, it was the second best movie of the year. Nothing needs to be said more.
All right. Well,
for more, go watch podcast number 84.
Mike's gonna edit
Mike
the
is
number
gonna
on there.
podcast number 84
All right.
for James's take.
Before we get to our number 1 picks, who has a worst of the year or most disappointing of the year? If you had someone that you were more excited for, maybe if it's not the worst you saw, but something that was disappointing as well. This isn't to say creators aren't trying hard. This isn't to say nobody's working and doing good stuff. This is just fun. So nobody get mad.
They're cashing checks.
James, you go first.
Or internet get mad and just give us views.
Yeah, Chris, let me go first because I don't think Mike and I are sharing the same ones. Out of the 3 I had, The Matrix, Morbius, This one to me topped the other two.
Woo!
Halloween Ends, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm a huge horror fan. Huge horror fan. And Halloween has been one of my few franchises that I've always watched every single Halloween movie since the 1979 one, the original OG. This movie was LeBron James himself tweeted this shit and said Jamie Lee Curtis is the GOAT. Halloween rocks. So I waited and waited and waited until it was available on Peacock, and I watched it. I did not go to the movie theaters, thank God. I would have thrown my popcorn at the screen. This movie was utter trash from scene 1 to the closing credits. But Halloween Ends started bad, went further down bad, and then just
All right.
died.
Brooks,
Terrible.
do you have
That's my
a
rant.
disappointment or a worst movie? Or
It's a worst movie for me, and I feel like it's going to be the most unpopular opinion of anything I have ever said on this podcast.
She's changing her mind about Fast and Furious.
No, that is all-time number one. Always.
Snyder Cut.
No,
She loves
I'm
my
going to say
Least-
Black Adam.
favorite movie that I have seen this year was Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Wow.
I know.
Wait.
I
wait,
did
hold on.
not have the same feeling that you guys had about it. I'm like, what in the fuck is this movie about? Like, there's like, he's like, swords are turning into dildos, and I was like, I don't know. I was just confused the whole time. Like, it
that's
just
great.
maybe I'm not emo enough for it, or like I don't know. Like I just I didn't get it, and I sat there with my mouth open, like, what the fuck am I watching the whole time? So that is
Look,
my.
I'll send you
least
some more
favorite.
smashing pumpkins and some,
Hard pass.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
All right, Keith, do you have a least favorite of the year or disappointment?
You know what's so funny? I wouldn't have had it until like a couple of days ago when I watched Black Adam.
Oh, shit.
So I really would like to reclaim my time. That was, I mean, it like I want to say that okay, maybe the fight scenes or I should say the fight choreography and what you call it, like that was good, like that was cool. Like I'm like, if they could have xed out everything else and just put that, just make it a bunch of fight scenes in a long like snippets. Oh,
A 2-hour
I
WWE.
probably would have enjoyed that product more.
Mhm.
Like I never seen a more disjointed story, pointless story. Like it oh, the father's the son. The son is the real hero. Whatever the fuck. It's
The Holy
Yo.
Spirit.
that movie. And
Whoa.
Oh, man. DC, like we give them every opportunity to impress us. It's like we've lowered the bar so they could impress us. Like your bar is not even
There are 4 movies from them next year.
the bar is not even as high as the Marvel bar. Like I go to a Marvel movie and be like, that's a bad movie, but it'll be a good DC movie. Like yo,
Oh man.
the joint. This movie was promoted heavily for
That's a cold
over
open
a
right
year. Social media campaign.
It's been in production for like 10 years, I
A
swear.
year, yeah. It's been like since 2007 or
heavy.
something.
No, but I'm
Heavy.
talking about like, the Rock putting on that
Yeah,
persona
and The Rock,
and like,
The Rock
yes,
is one of
I
the
am
top
Black
5
Adam
people on
and
social media.
Black Adam, and it's gonna be what, Rock? It's gonna be trash. That joint
Yeah,
was
look, Rock's.
basura. Yo, like I don't
Yeah,
even
Rock.
understand.
But we didn't know that.
Another
The
favorite.
Rock's ego. The Rock's ego got in the way of this movie. That's
No!
pretty
We
much
didn't know it was
what-
going to be
Dude,
that bad.
Yeah, man.
So funny.
I'm telling you.
How do you get it? What you mean they got away? You mean during the actual movie, doing the movie? course,
No, everything he wanted from this movie,
he
like in his contract, he can't lose a fight.
no
He
he
wanted Black Adam to be a good guy, basically. Like, there's so much that,
said that he didn't want to lose.
him breaking chain of command, going and getting
There's more
Henry
than that,
Cavill
though,
to come
that made
back,
this movie
basically
bad.
for
That
nothing.
wasn't just it.
You know what I mean?
And that was the most.
There was a lot of stuff that it was his fault.
That he wanted, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, that was the
he
dumbest
brought this dude
cutscene.
back
If you're
only
gonna
to get
why would-
fired a week later.
yeah,
Yeah, because it has Amanda Waller. There's no reason Superman and Amanda Waller should be working together.
Yeah, but you can't. But hold on, Mike.
Yeah,
Mike,
I'm
you
not
can't,
blaming-
No, you can't blame him.
Mike, you can't blame.
I'm not
The Rock
blaming
for
him
that.
for the
But
material
the
of the movie.
The script was terrible.
That's
too.
not
You
his
blame The Rock for
job.
that.
He's the pretty face. He's the talent. Not blaming him for that, like for trying to save a movie.
Yeah, but Black Adam, he should not have had his own movie. He should have just been a villain in Shazam 2 and end the story.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, like you're a bad
So,
guy.
but he didn't.
Well, they could have
You're a
saved.
bad guy,
But that's his ego again. He didn't want to be the bad guy.
but which
But
he
it-
didn't
it-
want to be a
It's
bad guy.
not just him
Adam-
though. Sony is
Then
Sony is going through this exact same problem where they think they can make the bad guys good guys and then have us get excited for them to fight other good guys or
Right.
something, whatever they think is going to happen.
Which
Like,
is-
I don't care.
Yeah.
Morbius shouldn't have his own movie.
Nope.
Venom is a maybe if, but the what's his name's the Hunter shouldn't have his own movie. Black Adam shouldn't have his own movie. Those don't work.
I don't think that's necessarily.
Do you know what jump started all this? What jump started all this was the Joker doing really well. Once the Joker did
Yeah.
really well with Joaquin Phoenix, all of a sudden they greenlit all these. We're gonna
But
start our own
look,
anti-hero.
we talked about
shit,
the
too,
90s.
blah,
The
blah,
90s
blah.
was full of the anti-hero, the Spawn, the Blade, the Batman. Like, there was a lot of anti-hero.
Yes.
Right. It
That was
doesn't
because
work
of the
now.
world we lived in
Doesn't-
the 90s. It made sense.
doesn't work
anti-heroes
anymore.
being-
Barely.
The 90s,
I
remember
barely
the 90s?
There's no
remember.
good
Yeah.
emo music.
Yeah.
There's no good emo music, so thus we can't have good anti-heroes.
I think there's a
It
correlation.
doesn't work.
I think there's a real correlation there. I think there's a real
These poor
correlation.
last 2020 kids.
All right, so listen.
What?
Yeah. I was being serious. Like, you look at these 2020 kids, they think that they know the culture.
Well,
I'm like,
there's a
what the-
lot
what
to
are you
complain
guys
about in
complaining
this
about?
world.
Like,
We're
what
not
are
going to get into that.
2022 kids complaining about?
Now the kids can
The adults can't.
got
Yes,
no-
the adults
all right.
can't.
mostly
But these
about the
kids-
adults.
All right, so
Abort.
but listen, that's a good
Yeah,
segue
exactly.
because my pick for probably maybe
Mostly
worst
about
movie of
the
the year
adults.
is Morbius, and it's just like Chris said, we got to stop trying to make bad guys good guys in these movies. They just need to be the villains in a hero story. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't work most of the time. It's just not working. So
I disagree.
And in order to do that, you have to get a good personality within that bad guy, and we're not getting that out of the.
I disagree. I think it's what
yeah,
We need
it's
depth.
what you do with.
All right, I'm last. I'm last.
All right.
I
Chris,
was
think
going to
you're
agree.
last, right? Worst movie?
Go ahead.
It's what you do with the actual movie. I think any one of those.
I don't know. I think this is a much longer discussion.
Yeah.
I think.
Story, character, like everything, yeah.
No.
go ahead, Chris. Yeah,
All right. So Black Adam was definitely my disappointment of the year. My worst movie of the year was a movie called Duel,
yeah.
and
Ugh.
that is a movie that starred
Oh, I remember that.
Karen Gillian.
That was this year?
Now, Karen Gillian, I love a lot of the stuff she does, and I was so surprised how terrible this movie was. It was dull and boring and badly written and not funny and not as sardonic as I think it was trying to be, and it was just everything bad in a movie I saw this year with an actress I was excited to see in more movie.
Yeah, so that movie for
Duel.
that movie
Worst
for
movie of the year.
me, it was like they were trying to get there was some kind of message they were trying to say about society, but it failed like big time. The message, whatever they were trying to get across, it just didn't come across. It was just a really bad movie.
Yeah, it was one of the. Yeah, it thought it had something like some sort of a hook, and then it just failed to grasp that hook over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was terrible.
Because
All right.
real quickly, on the one hand, you had the whole thing about people having to duel in order to resolve cloning issues, right? But then you had
Right.
Then you had the subplot of her clone, trying to take over her life. So which message are we? You know what I mean? It kind of got all jumbled up.
Well, and I think it was supposed to be funny because like her family was choosing the clone.
Yeah.
And everybody was choosing the clone over her, but none of the jokes were landing with that, which could have been a really funny plot point.
Right.
But it all just felt really sad.
Exactly.
It was like really, really sad. All right, here we go. Our number ones.
Number one.
And I get to start.
Yeah, I did not watch that.
My number one for the year. There's no other option. It's
Yes, sir.
the biggest movie of the year. The best shot action beats of the entire year.
Mhm.
Had surprisingly strong, emotional, and connective tissue beats. I felt it all the way through. Even made Miles Teller look good, and that is Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, I thought you were going to say The Northman.
Oh man, yeah, I forgot about The Northman.
That should have been among the worst movie. I also did not finish that.
I think I got 5 minutes.
I started
at the
10
Northman
minutes and I was like, I don't
I
know.
liked The Northman. That was a good movie.
Never finished that.
Yeah.
What's so funny? That should have been my
You
worst.
guys didn't get you.
I finished the Northman.
I'm
You
sorry.
guys didn't get to the naked
So bad.
lava
I
fight.
even watched it.
So
Probably Mike.
Why would
Who
Mike
recommended
recommend
that trash?
it came out with at the middle of the year when
Did you live
everybody
up
was
north?
screaming that cinema was dead.
Yeah.
And the Northman was going to save cinema. Like every few months we get a movie that's supposed to save cinema, and the Northman was it for like 2 months. So we watched it.
So
I didn't think it was the worst of the year.
No,
but
I didn't think it was the
definitely
worst.
wasn't as good as what everybody was
Yeah.
claiming.
But
You know what?
yours
No,
was
yeah,
Maverick, right? So
I still got to put it above Black
Your
Adam.
number one is Maverick.
Top Gun
Chris.
Maverick, number one.
Definitely number one.
Mike,
Yeah.
all right. So
number one.
for me, it's going to be Brooks' opposite, and it's going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I think that was probably my favorite movie
Oh,
of the year.
such a surprise hit.
Yeah,
It came back to the theaters and made $100 million too.
Yep. Good. I'm glad because it deserves it. So they deserve Michelle Yeoh.
I like the
did a
actors.
Great job. Yeah,
So I'm glad that they got paid.
and it was great to see Short Round in the movie again. You know.
Yeah, Michelle.
Oh, and
finally
Data.
getting
Yeah,
flowers.
Key Kwan.
Finally.
Yeah.
Data from
Mhm.
Goonies.
Right.
Yep.
And he's I believe I just saw he's gotten the most awards of an individual actor this year for a movie among all of the different various acting awards.
That makes me happy.
So he's gotten,
'Cause
like-
after
like
Goonies, he
18
couldn't get a
nominations
role.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he went and got like a regular schmegular job, and then he was like,
Yeah,
one
check
more
with
try,
Brendan
and this
Fraser.
was it.
And that movie, The
and
Whale.
killed it. So good for him.
Yeah, Chris,
Oh, man, with The
recheck
Whale,
that
yep.
with Brandon Fraser, who's coming out the gates now.
Mhm.
That Whale movie of his. Yeah, check that.
All right,
He's
who's
now-
next?
All right, Brooksy, what was your number one for the year?
All right. I also have props for this one. I don't know if you can see it.
What?
Top Gun.
Yeah, we can
Maverick.
see
Right.
Wait, what
Top
porn
Gun.
movie is that?
What porn?
What a nerd.
Gestures did.
Oh,
Gestures
great.
did.
There you go.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Wait.
I actually bought this
Yes,
to
we can
wear
see.
when we were reviewing the movie the first time, but I got it on Amazon like the next day or like during the podcast or something. Like they delivered it at like 7 p.m. or something.
Um,
Um,
That's
God,
funny.
Amazon's the worst.
Wait, what happened?
Amazon, if
with
you're
the,
watching
oh,
this
wait,
podcast
am
on
I
Amazon,
this
Amazon Prime, if you're watching this podcast,
the
we
one
have to talk
missing?
about the delivery
Wow,
service
James.
and also sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, all the reasons I feel like I said before, it just like had so much nostalgia, and I feel like it had so much hype, and it really could have just failed on that, but it very surprisingly all the way lived up to the hype and was like, to me, my favorite movie of the year. And you know, the original Top Gun being one of my all-time favorite movies. I have a quote from the movie in my high school yearbook. That's how much I liked it. So I feel like I've been waiting for this for a really, really, really long time, and it, was pleasantly great.
Absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
All right, James, you would be number one.
Yeah, so it sounds like we've got a mixed bag of 1 and 2 here. Chris and the
Keith.
Queen on one side, or Keith, I think. I don't know. But I'm with Mike on this one. I think to me, I'm with Mike on this selection for number one. For Everything Everywhere All at Once, because as much as I love Top Gun Maverick and I love the hell out of that movie, and I think if you want to be technical, it probably was a better movie from beginning to end, the way traditional American movies were made. However, sometimes you just gotta open that third eye and really look at a movie for it. Like, for example, Memento. Chris Nolan gave us Memento. Not a traditional movie, hell of a movie. This movie to me hit me in ways that I didn't think a movie could hit me at this age of my life. Going on 46 at the time. And kudos to not just the acting, which I think a few of you guys mentioned. Kudos and not just on the action sequences, the CGI, and all the technical stuff that it may have been just as good or below or even better than Top Gun. But the story to me is what was the best story that I've seen, original IP, in probably a decade. And when you really boil down that movie, it means something different to everyone, depending on your own personal relationships with your family, your loved ones, both present or past. And I think we kind of discount that when we compare like Top Gun. Yeah, Top Gun is exactly what it's good at, an action blockbuster that reminds us of the days of the '86 movie, and it's great, and I love it. That's why it's my number two. It beat out everything except for this one movie that wasn't just entertaining on the screen, but it left me going home thinking about my life, my purpose, my connection to what we call the human condition. As Keith does this very eloquently sometimes on text and in person, the human condition. That shit to me resonated, and it still resonates as a movie. Now, am I going to go home to the living room and pop in everything? No, I probably won't. I'll probably put Top Gun in first. But if I want to be true to myself and rank these movies, I have to go with my soul and give Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I did
my number one
rewatch
favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once when somebody else is watching it at the house, and man, it still hits. Like the second time around, it doesn't let up at all.
And there's little wasted effort of what you see on screen. Because there's wasted effort sometimes, right? Little filler, transition scene, blah blah blah. This movie had very little wasted effort. It's something meant something.
Yeah, as great as
Keith gets the last word.
Sorry, just real quick. I was just gonna add. I agree with James on the
Mike was about
depth
to say something. Hold on.
between the two movies. To me, Top Gun is a great movie, but it's a popcorn movie. That's what it is to me, right? Whereas, Everything Everywhere is a way.
It's the best popcorn movie.
It was definitely the best popcorn movie of the year for me. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so
we agree. We're not disagreeing that, Chris. We're not disagreeing that.
Gotta get the nachos, man.
But sometimes
I want some brie. You want a bagel?
That's
sometimes?
Right. And everything bagel.
Everything bagel.
Bagel and lox. I want bagel and lox.
All
right, Keith, you with us?
It's a New York thing, I guess.
The Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
That thing hit like an
I just,
emotional brick.
I,
Why would you say that that was your number one? Yeah, why would I
um,
say that's your number one over everything
I've
else for
never
you?
seen. I like what they did, and I felt like they accomplished it well. I've never seen a movie simultaneously be a memorial for the character and the actor. Like it felt like it was a well crafted funeral. It felt like it was a well crafted funeral around a movie storyline that was great. And like even how they closed it out was still kind of like it was in memorial to the character. Oh, his son, and he's got a son, and this, that, and the other. But like I just like the movie as closure to uh, the human and the character all in one. And I think they did it very well. It was, I know Ryan Coogler probably had to do a lot of pivoting on the storyline and like, changing things up, as nobody expected that he would pass. And I'm sure the movie was already, written, I would assume. But like I just felt like like that movie as a memorial time capsule, and also still being a good movie with good movie elements. I I never gave any thought to what the possible background of a Namor type character could be, and I like that tie-in because it ties in with, to me in my mind, with like the disappearance of the Aztecs that nobody knows why. Like I thought like that was a great historical tie-in to something that could be supernatural, and this like it was. I like the movie, and I like the score. I like the soundtrack. I thought the movie top notch. That's my number one movie for emotional and like and what was accomplished and
And
popcorn.
popcorn.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. It definitely managed to do something no other movie. I've never seen a movie be a group mourning for everybody simultaneously, and
Yeah.
it was such kind of wild to experience. So, all right, that's our movies. That's our top five. What a great year. Everybody wants to yell and scream how terrible movies are, but I think they're in a good shape. I think I had a pretty solid variety here of our favorites. Um, and next year we've got a. Mhm.
Yeah, you know it's funny, real quick, as we're closing out. Hold on, Chris, real quick, as we're closing out. I remember last year when we did our end of the year, we were like, some of us, not all of us, a little bit pessimistic about the state of the cinema versus streaming going into 2022. And I think that it's pivoted a bit. It'll never be where, at least right at the moment, won't be where it was before the pandemic. But I do like the fact that now we're getting, some
Mhm.
decent in theater options that we didn't have from 2020, 2021, 2022. Like I'm hearing Avatar is everything it's meant out to be. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't rate on it. And I know we're not going to get that in streaming. That's a movie built for the cinema. But let's not forget, some of our movies that we talked about today were,
Prey.
streaming.
Prey
Everything
was
Everywhere All at
Hulu.
Once, that was streaming. You know, Prey was
Hmm.
streaming, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, the big blockbusters gave us Matrix Resolutions, Morbius, and Halloween Ends,
Hmm.
and that was trash, trash, and more trash. So there's a lot to talk about when it comes to 2023. I can't wait for Cocaine Bear, baby. Cocaine Bear. Cocaine.
You guys
Medellin.
aren't ready
I
for
think the
the
movie.
four DC
Fozzie Boo
movies
Boo.
coming out next year?
But yeah,
I
that's it.
am.
We'll finally get to see the trash. I mean, the Flash coming out
HBO
next year.
Max.
Come on, let's get excited.
See, the
I
movies
wait for
that
HBO
pull you out
Max.
to go to the
HBO Max.
actual movies now, I feel like they have to give you a little bit more. I don't. I like it. It has to be a big level. You know what I'm saying? You're not going. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to the movies to see for when Harry met Sally again. Like you're not doing that. Like it's got to be big movie to go to the movies now.
And I think this year had a lot of good big movies. I mean, you had Top Gun, Avatar, The Batman, Black Panther. I thought those were
Top Gun, yeah.
all good theater
The
experiences to
Batman.
me. Doctor Strange was a good theater experience to me. I thought there was a lot of good theater experience.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, going back to Keith's point, and I think we mentioned it when we did the Black Cat. I'm glad that we saw it in the movie theater, Wakanda Forever, because that opening credits scene would have resonated if we were at home watching on Disney Plus. It's different when you're a crowd of like 200 people and we're all watching the same thing, and it's just quiet, as opposed to you and your partner or your loved one, your kids, Disney Plus in your living room. It wouldn't have hit with the same gravitas, I think. So certain things we still.
All right. Well, let's hope we can keep those that deadly pandemic at bay, and we can all keep going to the movies.
Yeah.
I agree.
And let's ending on a happy note. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday. I want to thank my crew, my lovely friends. Thank you for a great year of TV, movie reviews, cultural conversations, and fantasy basketball. Had a great year, and hopefully.
Hey, Mike, thank you for being a podcast moderator, going on strong.
Problem.
We want to give you your flowers as well. Thank you.
Best subtitles of the year. I'm gonna give Mike the best subtitles of the year prize.
Yeah.
All right. And thank everybody for watching, listening. Yes. Tell a friend. Comment on social media. Don't text James.
You know the drill by now. Thank you for joining us.
We had a lovely time. That's right. Mike, where can they find us in the future? And I don't know if Twitter will exist next year.
Yeah, I don't know about Twitter, but everywhere else you can find us. We're all over the internet. At Hero Speak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell in the corner to get notifications. And leave a comment below and let us know what your favorite movies for 2022 were.
All right, and just so everybody knows, we're in the process of negotiations with Elon Musk.
Leave a comment. Shout out to Tony, subscriber.
If he takes over, I can't guarantee our content will be the same.
Wow. Hopefully he'll pay us a lot.
But we might get some. We'll get some My Pillow money.
There you go.
Hair and makeup coming soon.
Might have to sell me some.
That's
Trump,
right, hair and makeup.
Some Trump digital trading card, $99 a pop.
Oh my God.
Mike, you can just put little MAGA stickers on your Imperial Guards behind you.
That's right.
Wow.
Make the empire great.
Wow.
That's right, Mega. Oh man.
Oh my gosh, you're too good at that, Chris.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I had a lovely time. Had a lovely year. Have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. And everything else in between. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Hey, Indigo made the beat.